So this is a test of the Baytan VN800 GPS module, which I've been recently using in my Ranger. It's been giving me some grief though. I've been getting intermittent dropouts, and it's been suggested that it may be due to the RF interference being put out by the Mobius camera that I use. I've got no doubt that it does put out RF, but I've been using it for years in other planes and never had a problem with it before. The only difference is this is the first time I've used this particular GPS antenna. It's a Banggood knockoff, presumably, of an M8N design. I have noticed that the ceramic part of the antenna is very thin compared to the other antennas that I've used in the past. Anyway, it's been hooked up for about 10 minutes, so I have 6 satellites, and I'm going to fire up the Mobius and see how close I can get to the GPS antenna before I start to lose the satellites. So here we go. So I'm about 5 feet away with the camera stretched out at arm's length, and I'm going to turn it on and watch the monitor to make sure that those green bars are staying roughly in the same vicinity. Camera's going on, it's just firing up. So it's on, it's about 4 feet away under a table. I haven't seen anything dramatic happening as a result of it being on. So I'm about to move it to 40 centimetres away from the antenna on my little ruler, which is unfortunately marked to double the scale it should be. I don't know why, but it's the only wooden ruler I've got, so it reads 80 but it's actually 40. So it's still 6 satellites, still one at 30, one just below 30. No significant difference there that I can see. I'm moving the camera down the scale to the 30 centimetre mark. Still no discernible change. .25 centimetres. So we're down below the 30 on the strongest one, down to 5 satellites, and a few of the blue ones have dropped out altogether, so I'd say that's an effect. Going to 20 centimetres. It looks like they might be dropping marginally. 15 centimetres. And I think they are going down. 10 centimetres. Definitely going down. 5 centimetres. So the best one's down almost to 20 now. So I'm going to turn the camera off I'll leave it in position just to make sure that it is the camera that's doing that, or it is the camera running that's doing that. So I'm going to turn it off at 45, so that's 3, 4 mark. Camera's now off, and the satellites are coming back. There's 2 of them up near 30 now, so 6 satellites. So that's definitely showing that the camera is affecting this antenna. So I'm going to move it back to 20 centimeters and turn it back on again. Camera should be running now. So I still have 6, but they are down below the 30 again. So I'm going to turn the camera off and see if it improves. So we've got 7 satellites now. One of them up over the 30. So I'm going to turn that back on again just to see if it is the camera, or we just got lucky with an extra satellite coming over the horizon. So still 7, but they did drop. So none of them are actually over 30. They seem to be dropping further. So I'm going to turn it off again, see if they come back up. So one's dropped out, one of the greens has dropped out, but number 31 there is up above the 30, although that's dropped down now. No, back up. So I didn't think that was significant. So I'm going to move back to 30 centimetres. Should be recording now. So we've still got 7 grains. None of them are up above 30 though. Okay, so I'm going to leave the camera in place. I'm just going to turn it off. So we dropped down to 6 now. Why, I don't know. Looks like a couple of them are just going out over to the northeast. Still nothing over 30, so I'm saying at 30 centimetres it doesn't make any difference to this antenna, but at 20 I'll just check that again. So turning the camera on at 20 centimetres, and they go down quite clearly. So we're down to 6, and they're all dropping below 20 except for number 26. Just going to turn the camera off again. So we're down to 5, no, 6 again, 5 again. But fairly low. Going to turn it off at 4. And they're building back up again. So I'm thinking this antenna is more susceptible to the Mobius than the VCAL one that I've been using previously. So I think I will go back to that. It doesn't look like the Mobius knocks it out completely, but it certainly has a discernible effect, and there's no other reason I can account for these GPS dropouts I've been getting. So, okay, this is the test of the VCAL VK2828U8G5LF antenna. It's got a much thicker ceramic area on the antenna, and I've had it plugged in for about half the time I had the BN800, and it's picked up a couple more satellites, so I'm not sure whether that means anything. But I'm inside, so I'm lucky to be picking up anything at all. So I'm about to turn on the Mobius camera from a distance of about 5 feet. So bringing the Mobius in recording mode up to the start of my little wooden ruler, which, as I mentioned, is double scale or half scale. So it reads 80, but I'm actually at 40, so I'm at 40 centimetres. Can't see any significant impact at all. Moving up to 25 centimetres. Doesn't seem to be having any effect at all. 15 centimetres, one dropped out there, but I don't know whether the others are. Seems to be coming back now, and it's gone green again. I'll just go back a bit and see if it comes up more. Doesn't seem to be. So back to 15. 10. Doesn't seem to be anything. Still half a dozen satellites, still got the 3D fix. Going to 5. They do seem to be dropping at 5. So right over the top they're dropping as you would expect. 5 centimetres to the left they're dropping a bit more. 10 centimetres to the left they start to come back. 15 centimetres to the left they start coming back. 20 centimetres, we're back out. So on the right hand side, 5 centimetres, they're down low. 10 centimetres, they're probably down low. 15 centimetres, they're starting to come back out. 20 centimetres, they're all coming back. So we've got 5 in the green, so this is about 25 centimetres, and we've got 6 back again. So I'm going to move it back to the 10 centimetres to the right. Doesn't seem to be dropping out this time. Maybe it's compensating. We're down to 5. I'll try the other side. So we're within 5 centimetres. Still got 6 satellites. Trying behind it. It seems to be dropping down a bit now. Still got 6, but just barely. They're dropping. So this is not even 5 centimetres. I'm going to turn the Mobius off at this point. And they're definitely coming back up. I'll turn the camera back on at the 30 centimetre mark on the ruler. So I'm going to leave it at the 30 mark, and I'm going to turn the camera off. So they came up a little bit, but there's no dramatic increase. So I'm fairly happy with this. It's a lot closer to the camera than I'm likely to put it in the Ranger. So yeah, there's no doubt that it is radiating RF that affects the GPS antenna, but it doesn't knock it out completely from what I can see here. Anyway, not scientific, but that's good enough for me.